Welcome to this presentation of a project entitled System Support for Online Rehabilitation of COVID-19 Patient. I am Erik Per-Jones and you will meet my colleague Martin Henke later on in this presentation. We are both from the Department of Computer and System Sciences, Stockholm University. And this project is funded by Digital Future. Here we have the project participants. From Stockholm University we have Uno Fors, Martin Henkel and I. To the right we can see a participant from Danderyd Hospital, the Rehabilitation Clinic. We have Christian Borg and Marika Möller. And below we have Jan Johansson, which is an optician from Karolinska Institute that also work part-time at the Rehabilitation Clinic at Danderyd Hospital. And last we have Christer Wolander and Carl Wolander. They both work at Visuera Integration AB, and the Visuera is the company that developed the system or the tool that we use in this project. The background to this project is that there are a large number of patients with severe cognitive problems after COVID-19. These patients may have concentration problems. They could be fatigued after reading or do some other work activities, and they have memory disorders. Many of these patients cannot carry out the daily work activities. The rehabilitation clinics are overwhelmed with such patients, and the waiting lists are long. Some patients have to wait up to half a year or longer in order to meet the physician for the first time. They may wait up to a year before they can get a more deeper investigation. And the treatment options are limited. The aim of this project is to develop a system or a tool for online rehabilitation of patients with cognitive long-term symptoms after COVID-19. The idea is to support the whole rehabilitation process, including administrative and clinical activities from the perspective of the rehabilitation clinic. But an important part of the system is also to support the patient's self-care, meaning that the patient can carry out their own activities well suited to their individual needs. And use then opticians, physicians and psychologists as coaches. The reason for involving opticians in this project that many of these patients also have eyesight problem as well.
I'm Associate Professor Martin Henkel at the Department of Computer and System Science at Stockholm University. I will tell you a little bit more about the development approach that we have in the project. So we're using a novel tool called the Visuera Information Manager that is supplied by one of our project partners, Visuera. The interesting part with this tool is that it's fully web-based. It's also very much based on using visual processes. It requires no coding or very little coding to create a prototype, and also it's made for integration with other tools such as journal systems. And this tool we use for all development phases. So we use it for requirements engineering and design, development, and also education, and then execution of the prototype and follow-up. So we use the Visuera Information Management tool to build a prototype that can be used by several different types of users. So we are supporting patients, physicians, opticians, and administrative personnel. This means that we aim to support the entire rehab process. So let's look at the rehabilitation process that the prototype should support. To start with, we have an administrative process with administrative personnel and also physicians. This administrative process is meant for planning visits by the patient, doing the initial examination of the patient, and gathering basic data. So this is the upper part of the process. Then the next part of the process is to perform examinations. And those examinations depend on what have been discovered, so to say, in the previous administrative process steps. So, for example, if there patient have issues with headache connected to eyesight, it may be a good idea to perform some examination by optician. And as a third step or a third part of the process, we have the actual rehabilitation. And that consists of a set of treatments or exercises that the patient can do with the help of the prototype. Just to give one example of how the user interface can look like, let's dig a little bit deeper into this process of the opticians examining the patient. So we pick up this part of the process and look at the user interface. It looks like this. So there's a number of fields, etc., that the opticians can use in order to enter data from measurements. And this user interface is generated by the tool using metadata models. And in a similar fashion, there's lots of different screens generated by the tool for different parts of the process. So for example, there are screens for the administrative process and also for the rehabilitation.
In the last part of this project, we will carry out a number of evaluation steps as soon as we have received our ethical approval. We are planned to start this evaluation in the end of this year. The first 3 steps involve patients. In step 1, we will demonstrate the tool for the patient. For the patient who are interested to also test the tool, we have a step 2. In step 3, we are focusing on the patient that has eyesight issues. In this step 3, the patient will test the eye training functions and interact with the optician. Then in the step 4, we will test the system on the rehab personnel. For each of the evaluation steps presented on the previous slides, we have created a number of evaluation questions, and we have divided these evaluation questions into 3 levels. Level 1 include questions regarding the expectations on and the attitudes to the tool. And the answer of this question will be important to analyze the rest of the evaluation, the rest of the levels. In level 2, we have questions focusing on the user needs, the utility and the functionality of the tool. And on the last level, level 3, we have questions regarding the usability and ease of use of the tool. Thank you for listening to this presentation.